Breaking news. Vance says he'll sit down with Trump and talk about 2028 after the midterms. Vice President JD Vance said he plans to talk to President Donald Trump about potentially running for president in 2028 after the 2026 midterm elections. In an interview with Fox News on Thursday night, just weeks after Trump acknowledged that constitutional rules will prevent him from running for the top office again despite him alluding to the possibility earlier. Fox News host Sean Hannity asked Vance about the possibility of him running for the top office in 2028, saying, "2 days after the midterms, we get into a cycle, meaning 2028, I would think it has to go through your head." The vice president replied that he has thought about what that moment might look like after the midterm elections, but tries to put it out of my head and remind myself the American people elected me to do a job right now. Vance said he is very focused on the midterm elections, and then after that, I'm going to sit down with the President of the United States and talk to him about it. Vance, however, noted that his primary focus remains on the midterms, saying he really wants the GOP to win in 2026 because if the Democrats get in power, they're going to try to screw up a lot of the great things the President of the United States has done over the past 10 months. Vance added, "Trees that have been planted, some of which won't even bear fruit for a few years. I don't want the Democrats to screw that up." What has Trump said about running in 2028? In the past few months, Trump and some of his supporters had alluded to the possibility of him running for a third term, despite the Constitution prohibiting it. At the start of his Asia trip last month, Trump was asked about running again in 2028 and said he would love to do it. In April, the Trump Organization's online merchandise store started selling Trump 2028 hats. These hats were displayed on the Oval Office desk in September, when Trump met with congressional Democratic leaders to discuss a deal to keep the government funded. However, Speaker Mike Johnson, Republican Louisiana, downplayed the possibility of Trump running again and claimed the president was just having a good time trolling Democrats. Trump eventually acknowledged this himself last month, alluding to the Constitution's 22nd Amendment. "I would say that if you read it, it's pretty clear." Trump, however, appeared to lament the fact that he couldn't run again, saying, "I'm not allowed to run. It's too bad. It's too bad," and later adding, "The sad thing is I have my highest numbers that I've ever had." What has Trump said about potential 2028 candidates? Trump has touted that the GOP has a deep bench and a lot of great people from the party could run in 2028. When asked to name someone, Trump said, "Well, we have great people. Well, I don't have to get into that, but we have one of them standing right here. We have JD Vance, obviously. The vice president is great. Marco Rubio is great. I'm not sure if anybody would run against us. I think if they have to form a group, it would be unstoppable." What did Vance say about Rubio running in 2028? With Trump's apparent anointment of both the vice president and the Secretary of State as potential 2028 candidates, Hannity asked Vance if he sees Rubio as a rival. Vance downplayed this, saying, "I don't feel like that at all. If Marco eventually runs for president, then we can cross that bridge when we come to it." He then added, "People have asked me, do you see Marco as a rival? And first of all, if either of us end up running, it's a long ways in the future and neither of us is entitled to it. So, I think it would be ridiculous for me to say Marco is a rival. No, Marco is a colleague."